Seriously, Bud is brought to you by OmniSend. OmniSend is a top choice for email and SMS marketing on WordPress, perfect for WooCommerce shops. Easily connect with customers and send out awesome campaigns every day. We'll be back in a bit to tell you about our other friendly sponsors. Hello, my name is Bree, and welcome to Seriously, Bud, a podcast featuring an unexpected conversation with someone from the WordPress community. And now it's time for our host, my dad, Bud Kraus.
Thank you, Bree. You know, I had so much fun last time speaking with Zerasimos Morelatos. I thought I would do this all over again. Please consider following or subscribing to Seriously, Bud, wherever you get your podcasts. And oh, by the way, don't forget to leave a review and rate the show. Now I'll be back at the end to give you my thoughts about this week's episode. It's number 113. So here we go. Imran Siddiq, welcome to Seriously, Bud. We've just spent a minute or two talking, as I always do with the guests. And I told you, and I'm going to tell the audience too, I love your work. You are so damn good at what you do. Hold on before you say anything. I know this is not a WordPress work show kind of thing, but I just have to pause here and say, your work on YouTube is stellar. And I put you in the company of the three other horsemen. That would be Jamie Marsland, Paul. What's Paul's last name?
Charlton.
And Ferdy. And we won't even bother. The four of you guys are so damn good. And you are the tops when it comes to entertaining and holding people's attention and or so compelled to listen to what you have to say. And boy, that is a skill. So welcome.
Thank you, Bud. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's unfortunate that we didn't see each other at the last WordCamp Europe, but I'm sure I will hunt you down at any opportunity we get to meet up again one day in the future.
I just told you, since I'm legally blind, you're going to have to find me because I won't find you.
I will find you. I will find you.
Yeah. Eventually, we'll meet one of these days, maybe next year. Who knows? Tell me something. Your parents were both born in Pakistan, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. My dad actually came over when he was 4 years old in 1958, I think it is. And my mum came over 48 years ago, just before she got married. But I've only ever been to Pakistan once in my life when I was 8 years old. I'm 47 now.
Okay, hold on
I
a
never
second.
enjoyed it.
Now, I interrupt my guest, but I don't want to interrupt you because everything you say is just so good. Were they in East Pakistan or West Pakistan? Because at one time, there were two different countries.
I believe they were in northeast Pakistan, if I get my geography right. I think it's northeast.
East. So that would mean Bangladesh. Today it would be Bangladesh.
Oh, no, sorry. I see what you mean now. Yeah, they were in West Pakistan. So I'm thinking of they were in northeast of the current West Pakistan.
Then West Pakistan. Okay.
Exactly, yes.
So the current just Pakistan.
That's correct.
You were born there? Yes.
I was born here. Right. I was born in the UK and I've lived all my life in the UK.
And didn't you grow up in, is it Leicester?
Leicester. Born in Leicester. You're kind of close.
Not even close.
So Leicester's in the middle.
So just spell it Lester, please.
Leicester. Sure. It's in the middle of the UK. It's in the middle of England.
And you grew up there. And what was your life like?
I almost block out a lot of my childhood and how life was like because I found it quite disinteresting. It always felt like things don't really move on. It was okay. There's lots of people. It's a multicultural city.
Right.
But it was quite boring. And it wasn't until I hit my teens and I moved out and started finding my own way in the world in what I want to do for myself that I started experiencing other areas. But Leicester, for anyone from Leicester that hears this and is offended, it can be quite boring. There's not much to do. There's not much excitement. It's not like we're in the middle of a valley with lakes and rivers and mountainsides and wonderful fields. It's a very condensed city with lots of buildings, really. I'm one of those people that I like to walk in a field. I like to look at mountains. I like to look at landscape. And we don't currently have that really in Leicester. From a visual point of view, it's not the best postcard you'd want to send to someone to say, wish you were here.
No, that is right. It's not one of those tourist attractions, shall we say?
No.
Especially when you have people mispronouncing it, I'm thinking all the time. That probably doesn't help. You're currently in what city?
I'm in Syston, which is just outside of Leicester. So it's technically classed as still Leicester, but it's actually just outside. But the reason I moved to Syston was because it is more open. So there's more air to breathe in a way. You can walk out and you're not surrounded by towers and big houses and shopping complexes and stuff like that. So it's just nice. You can go out for a walk and enjoy life a bit more.
But are you finding that people are moving out to Syston from Leicester? Is that something that's happening?
It depends on what you're looking for, really. So again, anyone who hears this is going to probably be offended, but I've moved away from family.
Imran, don't worry. No one is going to hear this. So go ahead and say.
So, oh no, I know. So a lot of my family live inside of Leicester. So I've moved away from them because I feel like I'm able to have more freedom and I don't have to always visit people and things like that. Again, because I like to work and do things and be productive with my time. So by moving out, I have more flexibility. Whereas if you're someone who relies on their family and you like to mix in social circles, you probably want to stay more in a Leicester city because obviously you're closer to people. If I could, I'd move to New Zealand, but I don't think I can budget going that far away from the UK right now.
So one thing you told me in your intake survey, which I love this because I love the stories of how people meet their spouses, whatever. You met your spouse at a bus stop.
Yes. So I used to walk to work.
Oh boy.
And I wasn't even catching the bus. So I would walk to work and she would always be at a bus stop catching a bus to go in the opposite direction. And it was one of those things where every now and again, you just like, when you see the same people, you kind of nod, don't you, to say morning or how are you or whatever. And it wasn't until we were both in the city centre, just so happened, and we bumped into each other in a shop. And then we just got talking. And then the talking led to going to a cafe, have a drink, exchange numbers. Next thing I know, we're buying a house together. We weren't even engaged, by the way. I hadn't even met her mum and dad, and she hadn't met my mum and dad. We literally were like, let's go get a house before the prices shoot up. So we did everything in the wrong order. But yeah, things worked out.
I love wrong order. That's so great. And when was it along this process here that you realized, I think there's something here. I really like her, or I'm attracted to her, or was it pretty early on that you realized something's going on here?
What, before we actually started going out? So when we saw each other at the bus stops? I think it was after about 2 or 3 times, which is quite quick because normally when you walk by people or strangers, you don't focus on them a lot. You don't want to appear like you're staring at them. So you have a glance or whatever or hi. But I think it was after the 3rd or 4th time I started, like, when someone smiles back at you and you smile at them, there's often a connection and you realize whether you like them, want to get to know them, be friends with them, hate them, run away from them. So it made it easier when we actually started talking when we bumped into each other in a shop. Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, where do you normally get the bus to? What do you do? And we suddenly realized that our age difference was 7 months. We had similar interests. We actually went to similar schools when we were younger, but we never really knew each other had existed. So we just formed a connection and we just eventually one thing led to another. We're still married.
How long has it been?
It's 22 years, but our wedding anniversary was 3 days ago and I forgot.
Whoa. Yowzer.
I noticed she wasn't happy with...
That's not good. No.
I was busy, Bud. I was busy. When you're busy, things slip out your mind.
Yeah, but you don't remember the date you were married? I do.
It's one of those things that I try to block out. The fact it's happened and you can't change it, that's a fact. But it's one of those things. I don't really massively celebrate birthdays or anniversaries. I'm one of those people that almost just treats it like it's just another year. Life goes on. The world continues moving. What am I going to do today? So I'm probably antisocial to celebrating birthdays, which is why when it comes to anniversaries, I don't often go out my way to get a card or flowers or something like that. But my wife wasn't happy, put it that way. that I forgot
You
again.
strike me as a very antisocial person. All right, don't tell me that you're an introvert. Okay, I got all that. All right. But you strike me as somebody that much rather spend time alone or with a very small group of people.
There is a lot of truth in that. I've had so many friends in my life, but there's only one person that I still talk to now and again during my life. And I think it's because I find that sometimes you get hurt or you get let down or disappointed with friendships or people.
Yes.
And often I find that I have 101 things going on in my head that I want to achieve today or get done by next week, that my time is precious. So
it is.
It is. But I've got so much time for you, Bud. This for me is a good use of precious time.
I hope
Seriously,
so.
Bud. Seriously.
Oh, I love
this
it.
is a good use of time.
That's unique. So, yeah, speaking of precious in time, and that is certainly, like Mark Cuban says, I can make more money, but I can't make more time. True.
Yeah.
And that's more valuable to him and to everybody than making more money. When you get up in the morning, do you say, like I do, these are the 3 things I must get done today? And those are the first 3 things I try to do right away. Unfortunately, sometimes there's more than 3, but
No, absolutely. I have a Notion app on my computer, on my phone. I've already planned out what I'm going to do for the next 10 weeks.
wow.
I might shift them around, but then I will break down what am I going to do from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8.
Wow.
It might be working. It will be what I'm going to eat. It will be how much weight training I'm going to do. It will be how many calories do I want to burn by midday.
Man,
it is.
You're serious.
And I have these targets because for me, it's a bit like there is actually no one when I'm working who's going to come over and say, well done, Imran, you achieved that. No one's going to care. But in your head, you're going to go, I achieved it. I did it. And there's something about that self-satisfaction where you might not earn a lot of money today. You might not get 1,000 views on a video. No one might listen to your podcast or whatever, but you forget that because you always go, but I did what I wanted to do. And that is the greatest feeling I think you can ever have.
Oh, yes, it is, because your time is not being bought by another. And that's, if you can do that, that's it. By the way, do you know somebody by the name of Cami McNamara? Do you know who she is?
The name rings a bell, the surname especially.
Yeah. Second episode, Cami McNamara, who's a good friend and lives in and out of Seattle somewhere. Anyway, she's all about what you're talking about, your time. She has this letter called Web Design Habits, and she's always talking about this kind of a thing. Now, you really take it to she maps it all out too, the time and all that. Do you literally take a calendar and say, you map out everything like that? It's very hard to do that in life.
It is. You got to chop and change and react to what's happening in the world or what's happening in your life. But I like to plan out. I like to know, what am I going to do today or next week, or I've got a dentist appointment in 2 weeks' time.
Well, I have a calendar. It's like I sound like I just don't have anything. I have a calendar, but it's not it's not as disciplined as yours. Let's just say that.
It's almost like my excuse book, because sometimes if someone says to me, oh, we're going out or there's a get together or whatever, I can use what I've planned to do is my excuse to say I'm not going because I've got things on. Because I've always found that when I do go out or I've gone to a family get together, I often sit there and go, I'm sat here for 4 hours and I could have been doing something else.
Yes.
Because I'm not enjoying myself. I don't want to be here. But believe it or not, I'm quite happy knowing that tonight I'm going to watch a TV show because I want to watch it. When you're invested in something, even though you might just be watching a TV show, listening to music, talking to a friend, because you want to do it, it doesn't feel like a waste of time.
Yes.
But if you just go to a family event or a restaurant meal, but you never really wanted to be there, you're always going to be going, oh, I could have done something else. And that other thing I could have done, I now have to address tomorrow or later on.
Yes, but the thing that you said I could have done, let's say with the people that you just talked about, that's the thing that they want to do.
Absolutely. And I did a video about this a couple of weeks ago where I said I do feel guilty because I let my family and friends down, that they want me to attend or they're not happy that I've now said I can't come to something. And I do feel really bad about that, about how they view me and their opinion of me. But I always then come back to the idea that they're not going to be the ones that pay my salary. They're not going to pay my house bills. They're not going to be the ones that look after my health or help me out on YouTube or WordPress or pay for me to go to WordCamps. They're not going to do any of that or fix the latest problem with a PHP or a code snippet. That's on me. So I always say that I could make them happy, but then I will go to sleep that night stressing out that I didn't do something for a client or for someone else, and it's bothering me now all night long. I've got a very full stomach. I've eaten lots of food. I've had my lamb biryani and lots of Pepsi Max, and I'm seriously full, but that work still needs doing. And I think sometimes I have to remind people that it's okay for you because you have a 9-to-5 job. You're guaranteed to get a salary, whether you work hard or not, or whatever you do, how you perform. For people like us, no one's going to find us or work with us or make our income or survive without us working 24/7 sometimes. Not that I work 24/7, but it sometimes feels like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, people don't understand, right? Because you're away from the computer, but the brain is still working and you're thinking in fact, most of the time, the best things I think of and will end up on a computer screen, I'm not even near a computer. I'm taking a shower, I'm on a bus, I'm going to a friend, I'm at dinner with other people, and I'm just drifting off thinking, boy, I should do this episode or what. And then I'm not even paying attention to what they're talking about. And they know it.
Yeah, I think what's made it really hard for us or harder in the last couple of years is AI. I love AI, but because every day there's something new happening or there's how it affects WordPress or us or even life. And I know we're not meant to be talking about WordPress and work here, but there's so much happening that sometimes if you decide you're going to do something else, the next minute you log onto your computer, there's something happening and you feel like, oh, now I don't understand what's going on and how this is affecting me and what do I do about it. So every day feels like you don't really get a chance to relax. You're always having to react to the market or people.
I totally agree. Yeah, I know. I get it. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do. I have 2 younger brothers. We don't have the greatest relationship. And I think it's because they are very family orientated. So they will lean on the family. So they are people, and my entire family really are, everyone looks after one another. But I don't see that as being productive because it means that you never stand on your own 2 feet. You're not someone who can survive if your family aren't there for you. Whereas what I try to teach my son is that me and your mum are here for you now. But one day if we're not here, you can't turn around and expect your uncle or your auntie or someone to support you with work or money or life or whatever. You've got to work hard and become something. And even if you're not going to become something, make sure you're happy and you never owe someone. It helped you out.
What does that mean when you say become something?
Hey there. We'll get back to the show in just a moment. Seriously, Bud is made possible by Pressable. They make managed WordPress hosting simple. Your sites load fast, stay online, and you get 24/7 expert support from people who actually know their stuff. No downtime drama, no endless tech headaches, just hosting that works. Whether you've got one site or hundreds, Pressable keeps things smooth and secure so you can focus on your business. Check them out at pressable.com/BUD. And finally, by the WP.world, a great way to see who's in the WP world and what they are up to. Find out at the WP.world. That's right, it's the WP.world. And let others know what you're up to, too. Now, let's get back to the show.
For me, the become something is whereby you are able to live within your own means, however you do it. I want it to all be legal and don't do anything immoral, but you're able to not have to always rely on other people to support you. So if you haven't got a fantastic job, and again, I don't mean this in a bad way, but I've said to him, if you end up stacking shelves in a shop and then whatever you earn, you realize this is all I've got per month, So what do I use that for? How do I survive on that? You don't start wasting your money or whatever. You don't get to a stage where you go over to your cousin and go, oh, I'm really struggling. Can you buy my McDonald's for me today or something like that? You live within your own means. So for me, that's when you've made yourself. But if you're one of those people that is forever having to be supported by others, then I don't think you've made yourself yet. You're being made by other people. They make you, but you need to make yourself. If they stop paying you, you go, it's okay. I'm fine. I'm happy.
Did you ever work for anybody? I can't imagine this. You did. And that's when you realized, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I worked in the NHS for 20 years.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you did.
Business intelligence, analytics, head of department, worked with a lot of doctors and hospitals, loved it. Managed team, really loved working with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I also realized I got to a point where I was doing 90 hours a week, working weekends, bank holidays, Christmas Day, every day of the week. And because I always wanted to make a difference. And then it really hit me in October 2020 when I had a heart attack. And I had a stent.
Wow.
Yep. So I've got a stent put in. It was an anterior STEMI. It was, and I think it was an eye opener for me to go, I'm subconsciously killing myself by overworking and stressing out all the time. So that's when I decided that my passion for WordPress, I want to go full time into the web design agency now, not just do it as a side hobby hustle kind of thing. I want to go full time into it. And then from that, because I loved teaching people, the YouTube channel came about.
Oh, yes.
So in some ways, the heart attack was like the green light for me to go, let's change your life. And I'm happier than I've ever been.
Oh, I can tell. Now, and like I said, I don't know you, but I can tell. So 2 things. One, how old were you when this happened? And the other thing is, the Japanese have a word for this. I don't know what it is, but killing yourself with too much work. I don't know if I said it right, but it's like committing suicide in slow motion with too much work.
I think that's what it was.
It was. You still sound like you're in that mode.
I was 42 when I had the heart attack. I'm going to be 48 in September. You could argue that you're still working hard. My wife says it to me now. She goes, you're working. It feels to me like you're working even more. And I have to say to her, that's because I work from home now. But I am able to switch off, and I can pick and choose because I can pick what videos I'm going to record. I've got plugin companies contacting me a lot saying, can you do a video? And I actually say no to a lot of them because I don't use the plugin or I don't believe in it. I can pick and choose my clients. I may have a bad month or a good month in terms of income, but I am happier that, when you're not answering to someone like a boss and having to justify your existence often and report after report. And after 20 years, I could see that nothing I did really made a difference.
That is really one of your calling cards here, is to make a difference. You keep saying this.
Yeah.
So from your standpoint, it's not about making money, it's making a difference. And money's fine,
absolutely.
Right? You're not going to turn away money, for God's sake. But the first priority is to make a difference in the world. And I'm telling you, you are, in the WordPress world, you have made a difference. There's no question.
When you get an email or you get a comment where someone says, thank you for what you did, it's changed my life, or it's made something I was struggling with work, or someone stops you at a WordCamp, or someone stops you in a street. It's only happened once to me yet, but it was so surprising and shocking that someone did it. They just patted my shoulder to say, hey, I watch your videos. And it's not about fame or glory.
No,
sometimes people think, oh, we do it because we want to be famous.
No.
It's just being remembered for something you did is a wonderful feeling. And I think it keeps us going. And I keep hoping that I can build a legacy when I'm not around, that my son might get stopped by someone saying, oh, I used to watch your dad's videos, or just, it's just to make a difference. I don't think I can sum it up anymore by just saying MAD. MAD, make a difference. That's how I like to live life.
Yeah. And by doing that, you are really leaving a legacy so that when you're not here, there is something of you that will be here. And at my age, that is something I have thought a lot about and I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate to be in a position to do that because you want things to last longer than you. The day after I'm gone, I don't want people to, I was never here.
The problem I've got is that, I don't know how much you know, but I record a lot of videos.
Yes,
and
I
at
do.
the
I know
moment,
that. Yeah.
Today is the whatever day we're recording. Am I allowed to say the date?
No one has ever said a date before. So
Okay.
yes, you
So
can.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So today's the 21st of July, and I've got videos uploaded and scheduled onto YouTube at the moment until the 23rd of November. I've got 4 videos
How
a
is
week
that
coming
possible?
out. I sometimes do 5 or 6 videos sometimes. So maybe this week I'll get 10 videos done.
Yep, but don't they get out of date? You're not.
See, here's the clever bit.
Evergreen,
You can do
right?
evergreen videos.
Yes, yeah.
But also you can show off things that aren't really going to go out of date. You're just showing a method or something. So if I was to drop dead tomorrow, you'd still think I was alive because the videos were coming out until November.
That is really cool. So I wouldn't even know if I'm watching something if you're around or not, other than
No. You'd probably wonder why I'm not replying. So you'd think, does he not like me?
No. Wow. What does your wife do?
She's an occupational therapist, works in the hospital. So she works with a lot of patients that have had cardiac problems. So before they're discharged,
that's
she'll go
perfect
around
for you.
Yeah,
How
well,
convenient.
you would
No.
think so, but I think she just scolds me for working hard. But yeah, she goes around helping patients with, are they going to be able to manage when they get home? And she's been doing that for, 26 years. And she loves it. She loves her job. She's so passionate about it.
You have the greatest accent. You know what's so cool about you guys in the UK and England? I'm beginning to be able to tell the difference because I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but depending on where you grew up in England, you all have different accents.
Yes, there are.
I mean,
There's a lot.
what's his face? Nathan sounds different than Jamie. That sounds different than Katie Keith. That sounds different. Whatever. They all sound similar but different. And it's really cool. And it's like in the United States, we have people in the South. Although our accents are becoming so homogenized that it's really, they sound like me.
I think that's because of TV shows.
Yes, of course. Yeah. The Midwestern kind of voice is like the typical American voice now, but New England sounds different than the South, sounds different than Brooklyn. But you guys still have this, in my head, this noticeable difference in the way you speak. Yes?
Yeah. And it is, it is a strange one because I often do wonder at what point will all of that filter out, because I still don't fully understand why we have some really strong accents that even I would sometimes struggle to understand if they spoke quite quick. There are some.
In England, not in Scotland but in England proper, is that right?
Yeah, in England proper, yeah. There are some northwestern, northeastern where and that is getting close to Scotland now, but there are some really rich, harsh syllables and sounds that can be difficult to interpret. So you just have to nod your head or hope there's subtitles.
Right. How far are you from Liverpool?
Oh, I think I must be 100 odd miles away from Liverpool. I support the Liverpool Football Club. I've only ever been to Liverpool once when I was going to go to Liverpool University. So I went to visit the university. And that's the only time I've ever been to Liverpool in my life. As we've realized, I'm very antisocial with going anywhere.
Yes.
But so
I know. Yes. Yeah, but so I want to go with a friend because of the Beatles. I think they have this thing called Beatles Fest. I think it's every year, whatever. And I just have to go. And I also, one of my mentors, she was from Liverpool, but you can hear that accent is so different than people in London, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And if I was a Londoner and I heard somebody from Liverpool, I would look down my nose, right?
No,
right?
When someone's from Liverpool, you don't even have to ask. You instantly know where they're
obvious. I know, it's so obvious. Yeah, I haven't been in England really for I'm way overdue to go back. And I almost speak their language, almost.
No, I was going to say, to be honest, I can't blame you because one of the things that I've been crying out for in the UK is a good WordPress event in the UK.
Yeah.
We just don't seem to have them. I know there's little ones, but we just don't have a big flagship event of some kind to bring people over.
I totally
it's
agree.
unfortunate.
Why not a WordCamp Europe in England? Not in London, too expensive. Where?
I think that's the reason. I think that's the reason they've just not done it, because of the cost. But I'm sure they could do something that's just outside London a little bit, so you can land at your airports and it's a 10-15 minute drive. Or I'm sure they could do something so you can get away from the high cost.
Now, I have a really good one. How about in Liverpool? That would take care of a lot of things for me. Yeah,
that would be incredibly convenient. And Liverpool do have an airport. They do, yes. So I'm sure something could be arranged.
And they probably have a beautiful new venue to put it in, and it wouldn't be as expensive. And people would come because it's Liverpool. And I think there's still some curiosity about it, although most of you youngins don't remember those days, because I certainly do. With Liverpool,
I was a big fan of the Beatles when I was a kid, because a couple of my friends and their dad was. So during when I was about 8, 9 or 10-ish, I used to listen to a lot of music by the Beatles. Yeah, I'm quite a fan, and I'm looking forward to their autobiography movies that they're doing for each one of them, which will be interesting to see how they do that with independent. That's going to be interesting.
What do you know about it? I know some things about it, but can you tell?
They're all being directed by different directors. They've got pretty good actors for each of them. So they're going to do independent movies, and then there'll be a combined movie, I believe, which will be all of them. So it's about them growing up and what happened during their lives. And it's going to be interesting. I can see a lot of people going to the Paul McCartney and John Lennon one. The George Harrison as well. I've got to be honest, I'm not sure if people are going to go watch the Ringo Starr one.
That's the challenge.
Ringo's a nice person, but I'm not sure if he has the same magnetism pull as the other three did.
On the other hand, though, he is still performing and looks in tremendous shape and still can't sing. And he has a range of 3 notes, but it works.
It does, yeah. It'll be interesting. It will be interesting, yeah.
If they do it right. Now, my understanding is that there will be things in each movie that will all be the same thing, like when they were all whatever. And so you can see it from their perspective.
That's apparently how it's being done. So it's interesting to see how all of these different directors handle it and how different they make it. But I think it's a great experiment.
I
do
too.
Fantastic experiment.
Yes, and I'm probably going to see it. I would think, unless they're horrible, I will see them all. Oh, one last thing before we go, because with you, I could go on forever. But what do you, and this is something I've been asking people lately, which is, do you ever think that you have a superpower? And what might that be?
Oh, wow. Superpower. I think my superpower is just, I don't know. Oh, God, do I have my superpower is just being always on the go, not stopping.
That's a curse, not a superpower.
I think it stops me from being boring. It stops me
you're not
from
boring.
just being
obviously.
It stops me from being placid and just redundant almost. I'm always wanting to do something to push myself further. I think that's my superpower. What did you think my superpower
I think
was?
it's your communication skills, your ability to communicate and engage people in what you're thinking and saying is your superpower. I think it is.
Seriously, Bud, I agree.
It's abundantly clear when you see any of your videos. By the way, you can go to YouTube, but where do you go to see your... Go ahead, plug away.
Just do a search for Imran Siddiq, or the much easier way is do a search for Web Squadron. You'll find videos. I apologize for the standard of the videos from 5 years ago. Things have improved a lot more with the lighting and the audio compared to then.
You're right. And I'm sure you have learned, as I have learned, practice makes better, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You get
or big pockets to buy lots of equipment also helps as well. Constantly changing the camera and the lighting.
If you suck at something and you just keep working at it, you'll get better. It's just
absolutely
it's inevitable. Okay, we've reached that point in the show where I ask you, who do you think I should have on a future episode of Seriously, Bud?
Now, I don't know his surname. Okay. I don't know his surname, but
all
Matt from Matt Tutorials. And I'll send you a link
to
Matt
it privately.
Mullenweg? No, not that one. No, but I'll send you details from Matt's Tutorials. He's a great, warm guy. He really helped me out at WordCamp Europe, helped me feel welcome as well. And he's got so many stories to tell.
Oh, great.
But he's a great guy.
Where
Family
does he live?
guy. Netherlands. but he's a great guy.
How tall is he?
That is interesting now. I am 5'6", and
Okay.
I think he was 5 foot. He's not as tall as Ferdy, but I think 5'9", maybe 5'10", 5'9", maybe. I didn't measure him. That wasn't on my agenda.
I've asked them all, what is it? The cheese, the wooden shoes? What is it with you guys? You're all giants.
They are. I think it's just a Viking trait in those regions has soared. There's a lot. They are very tall over there.
I met somebody in WordCamp Europe, and he said, "I'm just another tall Dutchman." Yeah, he said, "No kidding." All right,
Actually, that's a good point. They all are, aren't they? Yes.
Yeah, I never knew it until I started meeting them all and going, "God, you guys are tall." Taco, right? Oh my Lord.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Enough of taco. So what else? Who else?
That's the only one that comes to mind. I could start reeling off lots of names, but I think the one you're maybe more likely to get on, Matt, is, I think, likely to come on. Others would start to make excuses.
I like stories, as you can tell.
Yeah.
And the stories of people are far more interesting than
Absolutely.
vibe coding. And come on. It's not even close.
No, he's a devout Christian, and he's got lots of good values, and he loves to experiment. He doesn't just do WordPress; he does other technology stuff on YouTube. But he's a great guy, and I look forward to seeing him again at WordCamp Netherlands and hopefully other events as well.
Now, this may come out before WordCamp US or right around that time, so maybe people will run into you at WordCamp US and Phoenix.
Yes, and if they do, come and say hi, or just check if I'm still alive under the heat and I've not just melted like the Wicked Witch of the West. Please check I'm okay.
Yeah, have fun. I hope everything is nice and cool. That AAC will be working overtime.
I hope so.
Did you say that you've been to the States? I don't know if I got to that.
I've never been. This is the first time. Unbelievably. First time I'm going to the States just for WordCamp.
Yeah, now I wish I were going to hear what you had to say about that. I will have to check in with you. Yeah,
I hope I enjoy it. I hope I get through the airport and I'm happy and I'm all good.
Phoenix, like all these cities are all similar now, but it's also very different too. But you'll see. And hopefully you'll get outside a little bit and not just be indoors the whole time.
I don't think I will. I think I'm so worried about the extremities of the heat out there that just getting from the hotel to the conference, and I'm only there for day 1 and day 2.
True.
And I fly back out day 2 very, very late in the evening.
Why are you only going for 2 days? I know you have a son, but is that it? Is that the reason?
It's the time to get there. It's like an 11-hour or 14-hour flight coming back. It's the time, it's the traveling. And it's also just, even me going there means that I lose 4 days of my life, even though I'm there for only 2 days.
Yes.
So if I had made it longer, it would have meant I was away. So it would impact on my YouTubing, recording videos.
Wait a minute.
Clients' work.
You can do this stuff anywhere. That's what I'm told.
And looking after my son. Mainly looking after my son.
You can.
Yeah, I think the less time I can be away to help look after him as well, it helps out overall.
Imran, we're going to have to wrap this up, but what a pleasure. And hopefully the start of a friendship, because
absolutely, but
you're a really interesting dude. And I love your work. So this is just the beginning. So thanks again.
Thanks very much, Bud.
My pleasure.
Cheers.
Hey, I didn't know that Imran found his hometown of Leicester, that's in central England, so boring that he had to leave it and now lives in a town just outside of it. Met his wife-to-be while passing her by every once in a while, I suppose, at a bus stop, and eventually they bumped into each other in a shop. And before you know it, the two of them bought a home together. And then I think they got engaged. And then I think they told each other's parents. And as he says, we do everything in the wrong order. But now check this out. He actually forgot their wedding anniversary, which was just a few days before this interview, had a heart attack at the age of 42 in 2020. I think he was working at the NHS, that's the National Health Service in England. And he was so overworked and overstressed, he said that he had to do WordPress full-time and started a web design agency. and is coming to the States for the very first time to attend WordCamp US 2026 in Phoenix, Arizona, where he won't go outside because he's afraid he's going to melt. And finally, he drinks Pepsi Max. Did you? Until next time, thank you for your time.